Okay, so I'm going to talk about petro-inequality. This is the first take on this. Is so much I want to research and say, but it's been 3 days since I posted a video, so I'm going to post something now. Anyway, moving on. So here's a chart I've shown before. This is U.S. crude production and the population trend. So the population trend is in gray. You can see crude production is in black. So one thing that I think, occurred to me about this chart when I look at this is why didn't we go into a recession from the early 1980s until 2009? As you can see, production was really increasing. So I wanted to answer that question. So I did so by looking at, well, what's really our economy based on? It's based on all the goods that we buy, well, partly. And so really when you look at energy, you should be looking at all the energy used to produce all the goods that we consume, wherever we get them. So this is the main chart that, the main data that I put together. So this black line right here is our total, what I'm calling the total U.S. energy use. And it's a composite of two things. The green line is our U.S. crude production, which looks like the other chart, right? And the red is the Asian coal. So what I did is I took Asian coal and I just created my own factor. So the nominal numbers, don't worry about that, but the trend is the same. The use of Asian coal over time and how it relates to our energy use. Essentially, I think what I did is I used in 2000, so I used the 2000 number. So I took the 2000 amount of oil in the U.S. being used and that in China. Oh yeah, you can see how it crosses right here. And I basically evened them out. So I basically said, okay, the coal that China's using is the same amount we're using here. So I want to look at how things change. So if you look at this, you can see, okay, well, as we start to go down this period, right, this is going down, the Chinese use of coal was going up. And when you combine them together, you get the upward swing of total U.S. and coal use. And this probably matches U.S. GDP. And then it really accelerated right here. So if you look at 2010 to 2015 or whatever, you can see with fracking. So fracking came online. So not only are we getting the coal going up, continuing to go up, but we get the fracking, and that really, as you can see here, this line more extends to here, and this actually goes higher, right? So where the exponentialness or of our growth is really increasing. So that sort of explains everything. But if you look at what's happening now, after 2018, the amount of Chinese coal being produced is flatlined, and pretty much the same thing for our energy use. So you can see up here, it's really not growing. Now, there's some people say it's going to go like that. That's the big question. Will it go like that? Will it continue this thing, or is it going to go like that? That's the big question these days. I think I thought it's going to go like that. But anyway, we don't know. Just have to see. And the next chart I did was to show how wealth has really benefited the top 25% of the wealth. I'm not into the 1% or 10%. It's really the top 25%. So if you look at the bottom 75%, it really hasn't changed much, but the top 25% is where all the growth has happened. And so if you're wealthy and you own a home or whatever, you can borrow at 0%, get your home fixed up. It makes your home more valuable in the future. It concentrates wealth in the area that you're in. So you have all these sort of leverage effects of wealth at the expense of people who are poor, which is why I believe we have all these political issues today, because they're just going crazy. And the solution, obviously, is to create a more equitable access to oil, but instead, right, the Democrats say, well, we're going to solve it with EVs or renewables, which is nonsense. And the Republicans say, well, we'll solve it by getting rid of a bunch of immigrants or people, and then there'll be more for you. And of course, that's not going to work either. Or we're going to fight with China, which is going to make things even worse. And that's sort of what I want to now explore. So why I want to get this video done quickly. Anyway, hope you found it interesting. Again, I think this is a really interesting chart to me, and I hope you find it as interesting as I do.